What's up? Thank you, everyone, for joining us on today's episode of Hurry Up and Wait. I am your host today, James Cooley, as normal. I'm here with Sergeant Autumn Gorney.
Hi.
She is a U.S. Army veteran who deployed to Iraq, and I'm going to interview her today, and we're going to just play golf. Mm-hmm. See what we can do. If you watched the last episode, we got a score. I don't even know what score yet. We didn't even title it up, and but we're starting fresh, and we're just going to have fun.
Are you motivated?
Okay, so my call sign, I'll go by code name LL Cooley J.
Well, in Iraq, I was G-Spot. So
Okay,
G-Spot.
all right, there we go. I went in Iraq. I went for the fly guy name, the J Coup.
Yeah.
That was my.
I guess I do remember that.
Nice. That is a way to start it off. Oh, we got your shot.
Were you ever at Alpha Company?
I was.
I thought so.
Yeah,
That's
because
what I
we were
thought.
in the tower.
Yeah. So I thought you were going to name a tower like Charlie 1,
Oh,
2.
I think we were like in 1-4 together. Mm-hmm. I was a roamer. That was kind of my responsibility, a floater.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, I think you were a floater too, right?
I was a floater for the first 5 months, and
Okay.
then I became Camo Dog.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was only there for a couple months, and then I went back to.
Yeah.
the
You were
major.
there in the beginning with me, right?
I think it was like April, from April to.
Okay. Which would have
Through
been
May.
then the end of my tower
there's so
guard.
many. Okay, that's not bad. Nice job.
Thanks.
Yeah, that'll be okay.
Okay.
Sergeant Gorney. Tell me about. I like to start off the interviews with background.
Okay.
Tell me about your influences growing up, and why did you choose the U.S. Army? And when?
Yeah. I was 21. I was about 21 and not exactly doing everything up to par.
Okay.
Not exactly living like a life that would leave a mark. And my sister was in the military.
Okay.
And she had been in just, I believe, a little bit before 9/11. And so a little bit after, I knew she was going to get deployed.
Okay.
And I said, well, I don't want her to go alone.
Yeah.
So that was my initial reason for signing up.
Okay. That is a lot like mine and Eli's.
Yes.
We were both together. Okay. It's a tough shot.
Yes.
I think I might have to grip up a little bit.
Nice.
All right, gets us out of there.
Yeah. So I had my family military background. My dad was in the Air Force. His
Okay.
father was in the Army as an ambulance driver.
Oh, okay.
Grandpa on the other side, Navy. Pearl
Wow.
Harbor.
Okay. So there was history.
Yes. Woo.
Oh, we're using yours.
My great-grandfather on my father's side also served, so my son, if he goes, will be 5th generation.
Whoa, that's like steeped in military history.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. That was a great connection. It went over, but it was a great connection. You keep hitting the ball like that, and we'll be okay.
Oh, nice.
But I didn't hit it very well, so we might go with yours. We have a decision to make now. Then you join at 21 years old.
Yes.
You went to
Fort Leonard Wood.
Fort Leonard Wood. Everyone's going to Leonard Wood.
Yeah,
Okay.
all the badasses. That's
Yeah, I
where
guess
go.
I'm not one of them.
Oh, where'd you go? Jackson?
I went to Benning.
Okay, fair enough.
So
What was your MOS 88?
88, Mike. But
Oh, wow.
I still made it to Benning, and it was awesome.
I bet. So scratch that badasses, Mark.
No,
You're a
it's fine.
Well, I always tease because my sister went to relax in Jackson. So.
Oh, right. Nice, nice. Ooh, that was good.
Beautiful.
Oh, that was maybe too hard. Slow down.
Woohoo!
Oh, man. Fort Leonard Wood.
Yes.
I hated Missouri.
It was misery for
It
real.
was misery.
And I did basic and AIT there back to back. We only got to see our
that's right.
parents and go to truck driving school.
Oh,
There was
man.
And it was in June, July.
Yeah, the worst.
Yeah.
Nice, 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 nice.
Oh. Count to hit the pole. Is that
If
what
it
John
counts,
said?
yep, that's right. All right, we'll count it.
Okay.
Okay, so you made it to basic training. What was that like as a female, being in the military, going to basic training?
Well, I had no prior experience. I didn't have the best recruiter. I had probably enough college credits at the time to already go to OCS school, but I didn't know that was something I could do. So
Okay.
I go to MAPS. I take my ASVAB and they say, what do you want to be? And I said, a journalist. And they're like, no, you're not.
Okay.
If you want to go with your sister, you're going to be a truck driver or maintenance.
Okay.
And I said, well, I'd rather drive it than fix it.
Sure.
And 88 Mike. And basic training was, going in not knowing much was a little rough. I tried to quit
Okay. Did you?
because I was very urban and very street.
Sure.
And I told them, like, this isn't for me. And not only did I graduate basic, I was promoted there as top female and at AIT too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I want to know, at what point did that click for you, where you said, you know what, I can do this, but we have to do it. So that's going to be our next shot. Nice, nice. Look at that.
Oh, beautiful. You know, it does have a long shelf life. Remember that milk in Thailand?
Yeah, right.
That's a long shelf life.
Yeah. No, thank you. Okay, so there was a point where you were trying to quit. So
Yes.
for you, like, when did it click of like, I want to be here? This is.
My drill sergeant saw something, and they kind of banded together and stayed on my ass, and we're just like, you know, that attitude you have to use it,
Yeah.
you know, and they ran with me sometimes in the morning,
Okay.
or at least ran behind me when I was like, I'm not doing this, I don't want to run, I just don't want to. So it was really them just staying with me
Okay.
and their confidence.
Nice. So it
And
was
then I
just
just
the
started
drill
to get
sergeant's
better.
persistence. Nice.
Mhm.
Do you remember where you're at a moment where you're like, wait, like I'm doing this and like I'm actually like into it?
Probably after our FTX.
Oh,
So once we
okay.
got in the field, and I did very well out there and got leadership roles out there, and then I was like, oh, it kind of clicked. I
Okay.
just survived that. Oh,
Yeah.
I can do anything.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't seem like much unless you've been out there. You know,
Right.
sleeping in that wet, soggy
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And
That's cool. Man, that's so cool that the drill sergeants like just kept going after you and
they did. They really stayed. They stayed very assertive with me, and I mean, even on the first day when they have everyone move out of the barracks,
Yeah.
I didn't go.
You didn't go.
I didn't move out of the barracks. I said, I'm not playing your little game here. And got me a 2-man room to myself. Better than that bay of 11, you know?
Yeah.
This is a tough one.
Nice.
Jump.
Oh, that was so close. That was so close. That was a good out. Okay.
Looks good.
That's what I wanted.
That's the one.
Cool.
Thanks, Battle.
You're welcome. Okay. So, what does battle mean to you?
That I will forever be indebted to you for the rest of my life. That I love you, you're my family. And that if you ever needed me, it's without question, I'm there.
Yeah. And where do we get that, because I think civilians watching and hearing the terms like, oh, thanks, battle, hey,
Yeah.
battle,
Yeah.
they might see military people use that. Where does that come in?
How,
our language.
like, into our lives
Yeah.
as soldiers?
Yeah.
Battle buddy. First, it's like a Gomer Pyle thing.
Okay.
You got to be with this person all the time. You're accountable for each other. You're responsible for each other. But then once you're in a wartime, that situation, the whole definition changes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I know you're right. Nice.
It's
Very
nice
nice.
and smooth there.
Yeah, very nice.
Woo.
Sit down. Well,
Nice.
basically the same result, but it's
Yeah.
okay. Cool. Thank you. Oh. Oh. All right.
Still nice.
Still nice. So you go AIT. Was that a lot? Was that similar?
That was better.
Better. Okay.
Better. Because then you start being like rewarded for academics, rewarded for your driving skills, your shiny black boots.
Yep.
And so at that point, I guess they had made a soldier out of me at basic.
Okay.
So I shined at AIT.
Okay. Cool.
And then came home. I was home about 2 months before we got our orders.
Oh. Okay. So we were probably at Leonard Wood around the same time then.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was there the summer of '04.
Yep.
Yep, and then finished in, I think, August, and then by the end of that month, I had gotten my, while you were probably getting done, I was starting.
Yeah. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's perfect timing. Yeah.
Cool. That's fun. I remember.
Small world when you think
Small
about
world.
it like
Yeah. Yep. I remember almost nothing about my time at Leonard Wood.
that. You don't.
No, I remember a little bit.
It was
but
just more a learning and focusing.
learning, focusing. I just, I hated Missouri.
It is rough.
Met some really cool people, but just, it was a hard, I don't know. For some reason, I just didn't like it. First time for me to be around women.
Oh.
Females in the military.
Benning was just.
Benning was all guys.
Oh. I didn't even consider that.
Yeah, so I didn't understand, there was so much more drama.
Was it because
it wasn't because of the women, it was because the dudes didn't have enough self-control,
Sure.
if that makes sense.
Yes, no, it does. Perfect. So is it because Benning was mostly infantry that they were all male?
Nice.
Oh, sliced.
Oh, I don't think we're finding that.
Okay.
But that was a good hit though.
Counting on you.
Yeah, I think that's where. Yeah. So there was still like that separation between male and female.
Yeah.
In like with combat arms. And so, yeah, my basic training was all males. And then when I got to Fort Leonard Wood, there was females, and I was not. It just seemed like it was trying to be generous, but not the females. I didn't mind the females. I just think the males just lacked so much more discipline. They like lost their mind by introducing. It was just weird. It was a weird dynamic, a different dynamic where like basic training at Benning was just like the coolest thing you'd ever experience. There's just like we're just.
I bet I would have liked it there better.
You probably would have. Yeah. And when I got to Leonard Wood, it just. I think I don't know why, but it just like people just had a different, or it could have just been the class too.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Awesome.
Do you remember
Okay.
your truck?
No.
I was, I believe, 42 truck.
42 truck? Okay. I'll have to ask around.
And I don't know if I have a Leonard Wood AIT yearbook, but I definitely have my basic training yearbook, which
Yeah.
I never peek into ever because ew.
Yeah. So you just thrived at AIT, and then you come home, get your orders, you're ready to go.
Yes. I don't think I could have been more primed. Got that little dose of, seeing everybody,
Yeah.
and then, but I'm only here for a second.
Yeah. Did you have like because I mean with kind of war looming, like deployments kind of over your shoulder, in training they talk
Yeah.
about it a lot.
Yeah, they run drills
yeah.
to see if you're ready.
Yeah. Was that something that like excited you to do?
I don't know about excited, but because I was successful at AIT, because I was ready.
Yeah.
Or as ready as I thought I could be.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what you're getting
Right.
into.
Right.
But
So
yes.
there's I'm ready to do
Yeah,
this.
I'm squared away. I got this.
And
I'm
there's a
coming
lot
home.
of unknown. Okay. Did you talk to anyone from the deployments?
Oh yes, lots from our deployment to Taji.
Yeah.
Absolutely. In October I met up with some of our battle brothers some are still in, like Weiss.
Okay.
And
Yeah, Weiss.
Starman.
I saw Weiss recently at a funeral actually.
Oh.
But yeah, and then I think I saw Starman at a reunion in November.
Yeah, I didn't make it to that one, but I saw them. I think just a month or two before that.
Okay.
Stanaway, Powers.
Okay.
Mac and I used to be pretty close.
Yeah. I saw him at the funeral too. He's still in.
Yes. And who else am I thinking of that's still in? That I don't know. A few of us got together. Yeah. So I didn't get to make it to the reunion in November, and I was really excited about this one. Full disclosure, I was leaving to come, and ooh.
Okay. That
I'll
gets
let
us
you go ahead.
closer.
And my PTSD
Ah.
did its magic, and I couldn't make it out of the driveway. Nice.
Oh. Okay. Nice. That's good. Nice job.
Thank you. Woo.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take it. Looks like it's going to be another par for us.
Yeah.
Do you want to knock that one in?
Sure.
Cool. And let's take a moment to be reminded about our sponsors. Nobody. But it could
Maybe
be you.
you one day.
But it could be you.
Woo.
Oh,
You
no.
can't.
Man, I'm so scared now. That's like a big curve.
There we go.
I want that again. Oh. Okay, cool. So we're back to pre-deployment in training. You get the call and you're going with the first wave of trainees, right? You're not a
Yes.
replacement. You're in.
Yes.
61st.
Yep.
1461st.
Which was quartermaster that turned into a trans company.
Okay.
And I believe that transition happened right when I left for basic training. We were quartermaster. We had the trans,
Okay.
incorporated, but when I came home, we were trans.
Oh wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so a lot of people on that deployment, they weren't originally.
No, there was lots of
Transportation.
supply. There were more supply,
Okay.
My sister also was supply.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And someone may correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I definitely remembered them being quartermaster first.
Okay. Great shot.
Not the
Come
same
on. Oh,
picture.
you're dancing. Woo! You are dancing. Nice shot. Okay. Whoever designed this course did a great job, number one. But they've protected these greens with all the sand. It's really hard to get to them, so it's a challenge.
Oh, nice.
Okay. There we go. We get to Iraq, and then you get assigned to Alpha Company
Almost immediately.
almost immediately. Did you drive up with us?
Yes.
You drove in?
Yep. And this is a funny story, but it's true.
Yeah.
A lot of us got up early. I'm early. I want to be the first one ready.
Yeah.
First one in formation. Most of the time.
Yeah.
There are some outliers there.
Sure,
you know,
sure.
After nights out or whatever. But Sergeant Rhodes comes out. We're coming back from Chow, small group of us. And he said, well, there's this company called Alpha Company. And they asked for a detail. Since you guys are the ones dressed and ready, go over there.
Oh, no kidding.
Uh-huh.
So he might have not. Do you think he knew exactly what it entailed, or? I got your putter.
Oh, thanks. No, I don't think he knew.
He just thought it was like some kind of detail, like for a day, and then.
I think he might have thought it was, could be however temporary, and those were 3-month details.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I ended up, they asked me to stay.
So Alpha Company was
1st Armored Division.
1st Armored Division.
Yep. Force protection.
Yeah, force protection. So yours is right there.
Oh,
Not used to that, huh?
no. Like, where do you want me to find my ball?
Sorry, before you go, not to make you double guess it. Do you want to putt from there?
I was thinking about that.
Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice and light.
Yeah. Oh, too hard. Does it slow down?
Oh, it did.
Whew.
Not bad.
I didn't know if it was going to slow down or not. So Alpha Company is the guard duty for the base.
Base protection.
Base protection.
Perimeter security and QRF.
And
Quick
QRF,
reaction
yep.
force.
You started your time there.
In the towers.
In the towers.
Yes.
Watching, make sure there's nobody trying to infiltrate our base.
Yes. After my first time was up.
Yes, let's go. Nice job.
After that first 3 months was up and it was time to go back to your home unit, they My best friend, Cantwell, was in the TOC as an admin, and I decided, well, they had asked, you can stay here if you want to, and I was accustomed to that. I'm 3 months in country,
Right.
and that's my job. So I decided to stay, and it was about 2 months later when I went into I also went into the TOC to do the communications.
Okay.
So I got to run SINGARs and
Oh, nice.
and
For the
communicate with all
convoys.
the towers.
Oh,
Yeah. So Charlie, what do we have? Charlie 1 to 1-4.
was that what it was? Okay.
Yeah. So I was the radio check and call
Nice.
in the base commander to make the plays,
Okay.
make the decisions.
Yeah.
Working with that. Yeah.
What was a night, maybe a day in the life of someone who was on guard duty?
I can tell you one particular day. I was up in the towers with my boy Ross. We were in Charlie 1-2, which has the 50 cal,
Yep,
so it's
yep.
the one you're proud to be in.
Yep.
And believe it or not, we were kind of playing patty cake to make the time go by. He was out of Kansas
Okay.
with us, and a mortar landed about 10 feet from my tower.
Dang.
So that was a day in the life, but mostly it was just talking to your battle buddies and staying alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was?
Waiting on chow.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, and I go right.
Oh. It's okay.
Or
No, you're fine. Yeah. And nobody was there, but.
counting on you now, Beto.
Okay. No pressure. Oh, it actually went straight.
Look at us, right tree,
Wow.
left tree.
So being in a tower can get pretty monotonous. We were in a
Yes.
tower.
Yes.
What do you guys, you got like 12 hours on and 12 hours off.
You get creative.
You get creative. Just day after day, the monotony of just doing it, and
You get excited when you saw people.
yeah.
Sometimes good, sometimes bad, because sometimes we would see villagers, and as you know, we weren't supposed to, but we would toss them MREs and
You
waters.
would, if you were close enough to the wire.
Mhm.
Did you have any, other than the mortar's a really close
Yeah.
moment? Did you have any other like pretty serious moments? Because every once in a while there'd be like a drive-by or.
Yeah, saw there were a couple trucks following each other, the nice Mercedes-Benz pickups and stuff that they had, and someone had a blowout one day, but you never know if a blowout is a blowout or
Yeah.
a blowout is about to be a live fire.
Right.
So I remember waiting so impatiently for them to have backup and just praying like, please let this be
It's not me.
a real blowout.
Let's see it. Okay.
That's,
Yeah, so you're just waiting.
yes, just for that to be cleared up. And that was right before I went into the TOC, but I can tell you that it was worse once I got into the TOC.
Just like the just monotony of the day just got.
Well, being Camo Dog was harder because now you know what every tower sees. Now you know what everyone is battling, and now you have to find the answer.
To every. You having fun?
Yes,
Good.
a lot of it. And it's coming back to me, this golf thing.
It looks like it.
Woo!
Okay.
Fair enough.
But. Ooh, in the trees. Where's it gonna come out? Not too bad. So yeah, so you're kind of putting out everybody's fires.
Yes.
Like everybody's seeing something suspicious, so you have to kind of decide, is this something worth reporting up, getting QRF involved, or just saying like, hey, just keep monitoring and see what happens.
Yes.
Okay.
Calling QRF in general, yeah, or even telling my towers. You know, that's a tough call when
Yeah.
it falls on you. Because sometimes you don't have time to call the base commander.
Yeah.
So I definitely would say that job was harder
Yeah.
than my tower job.
Yeah. I that definitely I would agree with that.
But I stayed there.
For the rest of the deployment.
Yes. I stayed there because they gave me and Jess our own bathroom.
Oh, okay.
No, that wasn't the reason I stayed. But it was a good perk. I had a bathtub in Iraq.
Did it really?
Yeah, with pink tile. They knew how to get to me. They knew how to keep me over there.
Okay.
Come
Nice.
out.
Come on, roll. That's not gonna roll. Well, it'll be okay. Okay.
Little
Nice.
light on that one. Not bad.
There we go. Cool. I didn't know if it was gonna happen. You want to tap that one in? All right.
Beautiful.
right. There we
I knew
go.
you would do it.
You and I have from time to time shared a tower. When I was in Alpha Company, I was a rover. So this is very familiar.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sitting on
Just
a
like old times.
yeah. Was there somebody like your most memorable person chilling in a tower with some?
I wouldn't say so. I think that was the blessing in that, getting to be with so many people.
Yeah.
From Kansas, Texas. You know, there was a unit that joined us from Killeen. There was a unit that joined us. I believe there was one from Hawaii that cycled through there when I was
Okay.
over there. So that was the blessing, is just getting to be with people, getting to know people's history. So never, I don't think, a favorite, but that the incident that happened with the patty cake and the mortar,
Yeah.
that was the most impactful
Yeah.
night.
I would imagine that's wild.
We were literally playing a game like one,
Just
one
saying,
up.
yeah.
Yeah. Then boom.
Wow.
And then you know what happens after that.
Yep.
You're on alert and you're aimed and your grenade box is open and everything's
Right.
open and
Great shot. Let's go.
woo.
Oh. I didn't see it land.
Wish we could have golfed in Iraq. That would
I know, right? I remember a story that you used to tell us. You would actually go up on your time off at Alpha Company on top of the roof,
Yes.
sunbathe,
Yes. A
and
real world Iraq.
yep. And then you would have helicopters just circling you.
Yeah. Amanda Vila.
Vila, that's right.
We made our makeshift bathing suits out of our brown shirts.
Okay.
And we took our rifles up, of course. We don't leave home without
Right,
it.
right.
And yeah, we were up there really getting our sun on for a long time until it kind of got cooler there.
Yeah. There was a.
Yes, I had a lot of tapes on that, but sad story. I was home for about 2 days, and I had loaded my memory card into my mom's desktop,
Yeah.
and she accidentally deleted every picture
Oh
I had.
no. Oh.
Or I would have all of that. But sometimes I think that like maybe I wasn't supposed to look back at it.
Sure.
Because one thing you learn is how to keep it on the bright side.
Yeah, that's one thing. Got a friend of mine on the on my second tour. and she used to call me Mr. Brightside.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I guess when you're on deployments, you kind of you learn how to look at things.
You have to.
Yeah.
When you're in the military at all, if you're going to be successful, if you're going to come out as least scathed as possible, you have to be.
Nice shot. You're crushing these. Okay. Nice job.
Getting my swagger back.
Yeah. I'm gonna change my call sign. I'm now codename Mr. Brightside.
Okay. With that shirt, I'm down. I think it's perfect.
We'll see
Little
what
to the
happens.
left.
Yeah.
When you took leave, did you go to Qatar? Did you go home?
I went home on my first tour, but on my second tour, I went to Qatar.
You learned your lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you go to Qatar?
I went home,
Okay.
and it was rough to go home and then come back. And I went home in May. I was like one of the first groups
Oh, okay.
that got to go home.
Yeah.
And I really wish I would have went to Qatar.
Yeah. Qatar was a lot of fun.
I wish I had.
Yeah.
Thought about vacationing there, but then I thought, maybe don't go back to the Middle East.
Yeah. I actually went back to Iraq as a missionary.
Did you?
Yeah. It was super healing because I got to do like refugee work and things like that. So it was really nice. Had some really cool moments with some people, some Iraqis.
That's beautiful. How did they receive you? It was nice?
Yeah, super nice. Made some really good friends. Yeah. Nice. Ooh, okay. Okay. It's going to be hard to beat. Oh, nice job. You want to give that one a tap in?
I'll give it a shot.
Okay.
I really tried to use it.
Yeah. Okay. So leave was pretty challenging for you.
Yes.
Is
And
that
then,
just seeing people real quick and then like leaving, or
yes,
Okay.
yes, that 2 weeks trying to squeeze everyone in.
Because you had like from AIT to leaving, you almost didn't have much to
Much
see
time
people.
at all, yeah. So just coming home, and my family wanted pictures, and
Yeah.
they threw a party here. Like my aunts threw a get together, and my mom had everyone over, and it's everyone kind of wanting to see you in case you die
Oh,
before
sure.
you get back home,
Right.
which is valid, you know.
Yeah.
And when before I became a combo dog, I was stepping off a truck one day, and my neck locked up,
Oh.
and I was down for 2 weeks. And that's when they were trying to make the decision, like, do they send me back to my unit? But they didn't want to, so maybe they should keep me and change my job, and that's how I ended up in the TOC.
Okay.
too. This is so much fun.
Is it good? Hole in one. If we get a hole in one, or if you get one, I'm counting it as mine. No. I take credit for that though. I don't know what I would do.
Me neither. I would need my picture posted somewhere.
Right. Nice. Okay. It's a great shot. Oh, that's definitely going left. Is it past it?
Nope.
All right, I like your shot. So you get back from leave, Combo dog. Oh, you locked up your neck.
Yep.
Have you seen like a lot of reciprocation from that? Like
Yes.
Okay.
For 20 years.
For 20 years.
Yeah.
Do they know what happened? Like
No, still questionable. Things pop up. I'll get a bone spur here and there.
Okay.
It really locks in the traps of my neck.
Okay.
And so you can like visibly see it.
Yeah.
Some spinal stenosis. Want me to grab your ball?
Yeah, I'll grab it. Yep. I'm just gonna pull right up here.
Some spinal stenosis, degenerative discs.
Yeah.
But nothing that can truly explain like why the pain has been there for so long. Why I keep biofreeze in my purse and ibuprofen in my.
My wife is like that. She has almost exactly the same. Is the VA kind of involved helping at least physical therapy?
Yeah, I did it all. You name it. I've done acupuncture.
Okay.
Physical therapy for years. It really didn't make a difference. What else? Oh my gosh, if VA offered it, I've done it.
Okay. So they were at least responsive.
Yes. I realized that was 2005. I realized in 2007 that it wasn't going away. That's when I got in the VA. And the PTSD signs, obviously.
That is great. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, man. Wow. Let's see what I can do.
Okay.
I was kind of playing it soft because I was too afraid to go.
Yeah.
But then you don't give yourself a chance to actually hit it.
So in your words, you're going to knock this one in?
Yeah, I guess. Do I say that often?
But you're going to knock it in.
I'm going to knock this one in. I'm putting with yours.
Yeah.
That didn't feel right. It's going to be too soft. That was the line. Dang, that's disappointing. All right.
There we go.
Bogey secured. Oh, come on. Oh.
Same thing.
That was close.
Yeah, I suppose you can't compare everything to Caddyshack and Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, right?
You know golf.
Exactly.
No. That ought to do it, right?
The GWAT era was the first time women really kind of shined. It was the largest, you had made a post about this recently, the largest, I guess, women in combat
Yes.
that the history has ever seen.
Which they still didn't recognize until I believe 2013.
Okay.
But that would deny the fact that I'm a combat veteran, but I'm a combat veteran.
Right.
So it's definitely still a fight for, you know.
So I guess the way that works, just for anyone that is watching, maybe they don't understand, is, and that's why when people ask me, are you a combat veteran? I have to say technically no.
Right.
But I was in combat and saw action.
Right.
So technically, yes, at the same time.
Yes.
So in the military, there's certain units that are considered combat arm units, kind of like your artillery, your infantry, and that kind of vein. In the GWAT era, there's a lot of soldiers who were involved in combat situations, like transportation specifically, that aren't considered combat arms, but were actually involved in combat. And so there's certain groups of people, I don't think it's really that prominent anymore. I think people recognize that if you went to Iraq and you were involved in combat, you're a combat veteran. But there are sometimes some people that will get on the keyboard and go, you're not really a combat veteran. But yeah, you've ran into that in person?
I haven't. No,
Okay.
I haven't at all. But so I work in the mental health field now, and we do a Relias training, which is trainings about all things mental health. Well, just recently, about 2 weeks ago, there was one on military sensitivity.
Okay.
And it talked about military in general, soldiers in general, and then brought up the topic of women. And I was just reading, and I was just like, oh, it was very far off.
Like
but-
far off of like what the manual had to what's like.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So yeah, what they had to what we know.
Yeah.
You know. So, I mean, it's probably good for a civilian to have.
Sure.
But to go through a training like that as a veteran, as a female soldier, it was just kind of an eye roll.
Yeah.
You know. So
Okay.
not so much confrontation about these things, just a miseducation, in my opinion.
What's we can let these. They're not even here yet, but we'll let them pass so we can keep talking.
Okay.
What are some things like that you see that are missed by civilians, like when specifically talking about counseling or PTSD for veterans?
I think even civilians at the VA, you know, therapists, especially with the VA, they have younger interns. You know, the VA likes to, that's a starting place for a lot of medical professionals.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think I've ever talked to a therapist about what I've been through because they're only 20, 22, and I don't want to ruin their life with my stories. No, that's terrible, but it's kind of true. But I think that they miss that oftentimes if you have combat PTSD, you probably have civilian PTSD too. So it's just this added layer. There's a therapy that my psychiatrist right now wanted me to start. I might say it wrong, EMDR, something like that, but it's forgive me for if that's the wrong acronym, but it's like going through your traumas one at a time. And she said, but it's harder for veterans. And that is the case because we deal with grief of losing loved ones at home. We deal with all that, but then you have that added layer.
Yeah.
That only you would understand.
Sure.
Only people who've been there would understand. It's hard to talk about that with just anybody.
Sure.
You know, because you got to start from the beginning and you got to say, well, it didn't just happen overnight. Like it built up all these.
Can I tell you? I have, and I appreciate the VA and their counselors, but I just got so worn out from getting like I had a triage counselor and then he got promoted, which he was wonderful. So I got to another counselor and she was wonderful, but she could only see me for a little bit. And then I had to get to another one. Every single time you have to start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. Start from the beginning. It's
Yes.
just
like take an hour and read my file.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, it gets super tiring.
Then there's the degree of difficulty of being a female veteran.
Yes.
That has been probably my greatest fight in life. It was so bad when I was younger, coming home young, 24, 25. I would go like to the VA to get my meds at the med counter in Battle Creek, and they would say, "Well, where's the veteran?" And of course, PTSD full throttle. So now I'm having a fit.
Yeah.
It even happened more recently at the pharmacy last year. I sat down and you sit at the booths and stuff, and she said that like. She's like, who's with you? What veteran are you picking up on their behalf? And I'm like, okay, I'm not 20 anymore, you know? And then just going into providers at the VA and them assuming like you must have got here some other way, you must be married into this program or you must be, and it's the same on Veterans Day when they come up to whomever I'm with and say, thanks for your service. And they're like, wrong person.
Yeah. Wow.
That happens a lot.
So you feel kind of like almost invisible.
Yes, very much so.
And like your effort that you've put in just kind of gets overlooked.
Yes, and in the medical field, they just don't assume that you went through what you went through.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, so what's went on in your life, and I'm like, well, let's start when it all started.
Sure.
Let's start there, which was in service. You know?
Man.
But we're idiot Mike, so we keep on trucking.
Keep on trucking. If the road ain't stopped or road ain't blocked, we don't stop, huh? So yeah, that's kind of been one of my just the adjust and overcome has been one of my life models. So that's something I just have to always do. But well, sorry, number one, that's been your experience. you are deserving of full recognition. So I hope that gets better for you, just as a visibility. I will say that even for me, going to the VA is kind of, it's set up for Vietnam era veterans,
Yes.
which is great. They need their care.
They do.
But there's not a lot of consideration for the GWAT era veterans. It's just not really modeled for that. So kind of like, probably in their mindset, they're not thinking of younger. I don't think they were even prepared for younger veterans
Right.
when we got back.
Yes, I don't think so either.
And it's just like, yeah.
And I mean, in a sense, they weren't prepared for the Vietnam vets when
Sure.
it was them, you know.
Sure. Yeah.
But
And-
we keep fighting for our arrows.
That's right. And the United States doesn't have a really great track record of taking care of their vets, if we're just being honest.
No.
I don't. Have you heard of the bonus army?
No.
Okay, so after World War I, they were promised to get a bonus,
Okay.
and they'd gotten like vouchers for a bonus, but then they never got their bonus. So then all these vets marched at D.C. and then at wherever, I think where the senators meet, and they were actually pushed back by the army. So it was army tanks were ordered in and stuff like that, and they were pushed back. So vets versus the army kind of got pushed back. So I think that's kind of what started like people like saying, wait a minute, like these are our veterans, they deserve care.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but yeah, that's kind of like our government's history with the vets, is like they'll sick our own army on us
Right.
if they want, if they have
They'd
to.
rather just give us a stamp and say, okay, you did that.
Yeah,
Good job. You know,
yeah,
and then kind of like, bye.
yeah. So
You're out.
there's some progress being.
And I mean, over this 20 years that since, you know, I didn't deploy again after that because of
Yeah.
my neck and because of my PTSD. And I stayed in for 4 months. So yeah, just definitely have seen it get better over our 20 years.
Yeah.
But it's been a long 20. Doesn't
Yeah.
seem like it.
I know, right?
It doesn't.
It's wild.
I still feel like we're all young and yeah. I was talking to someone the other day and they're like how old is Captain Roberts? Not that we want to
Right.
disclose, but
I think he joined in '78. That was a good hit.
yeah, it was. That's what you're gonna do.
No, thank you.
Yeah, he joined in '78
And at 17.
mentioned '82.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
You want to do the math?
probably around my parents' age. So I would say 62, 63.
Mm. Yeah. He doesn't act or.
No.
It's for you, but you don't act any. You call yourself an old man.
Yeah, yeah.
We all age like him. It's so wild. Me and my buddy, we were at a funeral for someone on my second deployment, and we were hanging out with our squad leader that was on that deployment, and we asked him, like, how old were you when we deployed? He's like, oh, I was like, I think he said like 38 or something like that. And we were shook because we thought he was so old. Yeah, have a good day. We thought he was so old, and now we're his age. But it's like, I look back and I go, yeah, but 20 years ago, like, I feel like that was, I've like lived 2 lifetimes at least in 20 years. And so I think ahead, like, oh, okay, well, I'm having, you know, we played golf with Captain Roberts, and that's like 20 years from now, that's us.
Yeah.
We have a long life to live still.
Yeah.
And
Lord willing.
yeah,
Yeah.
Lord willing, yeah. And yeah. So I don't know where I was going with that.
Happens to me often too.
So do you mind, or do you feel comfortable, or I don't want to trigger you, but talk more about PTSD and kind of what that might look like for veterans, and how we can help as a community if you know a veteran who might be struggling. And we don't have to answer it now, so that's kind of like a pre-question.
Okay.
Just to think about.
This is a question I considered anyway.
Okay.
I figured you weren't just going to stick to that list.
Yeah. That was just to start off, but you know, I think everyone brings something a little something unique perspective to the table. You as a female veteran, but also you're kind of stepping into that counseling field
Yes.
a bit too, and so it's always interesting to see like your perspective, and you know, we've lost too many people, too many soldiers through, you know, suicide or OD or, you know, anything like that. It's just like, it's heartbreaking. And I think, I don't know if it's enough of us just raising awareness, but like, for me, when I got back from my first deployment, I had a lot of friends who, like, many of my friends are still in high school. And it's just like, well, what do you say to somebody as a civilian? You know, and so like a lot of people didn't know what to say, so they said nothing at all, and that unintentionally caused isolation.
Which I dealt with firsthand. I wouldn't even have these kinds of discussions, which, you know, this is rare, but I wouldn't even have these kinds of discussions until 2016, when I met a Marine named Lloyd Dorsey, who my aunt had fallen in love with, and he actually encouraged me, come to the Marine Corps ball, and I was like, humbug. I don't want anything to do with the VA. Done. Like, I only go to the VA, and then I retreat. You know, I go back to my safe space. And they actually honored me at that Marine Corps ball as a female Army soldier, and I was like, that's very big of you.
Cool.
Okay. So he kind of coached me, and he was a Vietnam veteran, and he kind of coached me back into there are people outside of your battle brothers, outside of your unit, that love you too, that also have these things in common with you. Yeah. So until like 2016, I was a recluse. I dealt with stuff way differently. You know, tried to drown it out and things like that.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as PTSD, I think the thing of it is it can look different in every single, just like civilian PTSD can look different from different kinds of trauma. And veterans, it looks different too. It's not just we're all scared of driving. It's not just we're all scared of fighting.
Right.
Mine is nightmares. And I've had them.
That's interesting you say that, because for me, when you, I think I had a misunderstanding of what nightmares were. So I was almost constantly having dreams about being in Iraq and fighting and being in. Oh yeah, I've got some teas. Yeah.
I think that white one's broke. I keep trying to.
Oh sure. And for me, it was just like really intense, very stressful in my sleep. And what I learned is that is a nightmare. I thought like it was just stressful dreams, but I didn't know that, like, to me, my traditional idea of nightmares were like things that are like spiders and snakes and scary. Yeah. But also, like, when you're talking PTSD and combat specifically, it's also just having high anxiety dreams.
Being on edge.
Yeah.
Being alert. This morning, I had a dream I was fighting two women in random.
Yeah.
But that's what I woke up to and have to, like, retrain my brain every single morning.
Yeah.
I have to retrain my brain. I don't nap because that's when they're the worst.
Oh.
But they are every single night, every time I close my eyes.
Wow.
And they could be about anything.
Yeah.
Grief, loss, war.
Right.
Like just being on edge, being alert, running from something, running to something.
Great shot. Great shot.
Oh.
So this is a big
We
deal.
were talking about how PTSD looks different.
Yeah.
for every soldier, for every
Right.
civilian.
Yeah. So how do we go by and recognize it? Sometimes it can just be masked so well, right?
Oh yes, I'm very good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, or sometimes the soldier just can't say anything.
Yeah.
Like we talked about young professionals and stuff. I don't even bother. You know, I start from it, but it's like the synopsis. Like, yeah, when I was in Iraq, here's the major events.
Yeah.
Here are the funerals I had to attend, and now my life has been downhill ever since. You know,
Yeah.
you kind of just, but it would be beneficial, like, just this really watered down version of, you know, what this one soldier went through and how you need to be sensitive to that.
Yeah.
But that's the reality is, it's multifaceted.
So yeah, it's multifaceted, and it's just like as simple as.
And it's not just as simple as Robert was in a convoy and it got hit by an IED, which is, you know, an explosive device, and Robert lost a friend. That's not, you know, that happens.
Nice.
That was it. Beautiful.
Okay.
For example, you know, Autumn got detailed to another unit and wasn't with the people she trusted. And
Oh. Yeah.
Be so scared for her.
Yeah.
And want to say, take me too.
Yeah.
You know.
My brother, we were supposed to be in at the same time, and then be out at the same time. So I got out, and then he ended up re-upping and going on another deployment, and that was very stressful. I had a couple of breakdowns.
For sure. And that's the thing. That's what PTSD looks like for a veteran.
Yeah.
Even if it weren't our brother and sister, it could be.
I've been plugging it into the wrong one. That's why. I bet that's exactly why. I'm so sorry if this doesn't turn out well. I want to, you know, I want us to be able to remember our experiences and our legacy, you know.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to do this in a way that also honors everyone. So, all right. Yeah, so those small things kind of like add to, so like there's this idea for me, like I think built in to my PTSD is like I don't say no to things. Because like that's part personality, but part like from the stressors.
Duty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
duty.
I know that.
Nice hit.
Ooh. Much nicer.
Where's it gonna come down? Okay,
Beautiful,
we're dancing.
beautiful.
Okay. Come on back. That's okay. That's pretty good actually.
Nice.
Yeah. I like yours better. Well, thank you for your vulnerability. I know it can be tough. I don't want to.
I don't think I could have I can't do this with just anybody. I have my spurts where I can kind of let some things out, and then I won't bring that up again for 4 years.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. And also, like, if you don't, you know, you're allowed to pass.
Oh, no.
So it's totally, I 100% understand.
I committed to this. I should go a little bit.
I think you're right, yeah. Nice. Oh, come on. Yes. Oh, great shot. That's a great shot.
Oh. Oh.
That was close. All right. You want to knock it in?
Ah!
Oh, no. It's
Every
okay.
time you say that, it's fine though.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Sweet. All right.
Wonderful.
It's fast.
Yeah. It's because we're so good.
That's right. We actually played this really well. Surprisingly.
Oof.
Okay. Not bad. That's in a playable spot.
Now that's gorgeous.
Yeah. Saved my best one for the last, but it's in the sand maybe. It might be short. What was the win for you? Like how did you get pulled out of isolation? Oh yeah, you said the marine ball.
Yep. And so then I started to just talk about it more, talk about it with my partners. Because before I used to just come off as aggressive.
Yeah.
And I was. But I didn't talk about the reasons behind it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I never would say, well, this is what just happened last night in my sleep. This is what.
Oh, sure.
You know, I was just like, kind of like, well, this is who I am.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
The VA couldn't fix it my first 10 years, so
sure.
Forget it.
This is,
you know, kind of.
I guess this is who I am now then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just talking more, explaining more, taking my time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, and now I'm able to talk to like my coworkers about it and some of my peers and things like that. I'm not good at it yet.
Sure.
But I might never be. But at least I know I am speaking up now. You know,
yeah.
And educating people, at least to my plight, not necessarily. Like I said, all of our stories are different.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. Well, I love that you're speaking up and sharing and helping. I think like the more we talk about it, this is my opinion, I don't know if it's true, but the more we can talk about it, the more we give perspective and like understanding and also like it allows for correction of like current systems and
sure.
and thought processes.
Yes, I feel like my psychiatrist, we've been together for 3 years. She's been a doctor at the VA for a long time, so she is my biggest advocate. I feel like I've educated her so much on female veterans, GWOT veterans.
Yeah.
That we have this respect, and I beg her, don't leave me. Don't go anywhere, please.
Yeah.
Hey,
nice.
You made it over the sandbox.
Yeah, there you go. That'll ride a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, not too bad. Now I've seen some posts on Facebook that just about faith for you. How has faith helped you in your journey?
Gosh, in the darkest of moments, just, you know, and faith comes in all different forms. I feel like to see, so first of all, Facebook is such a platform for me. That's when I can tell the world, hey, I'm not doing okay today, and I'll put a white flag. I don't know if you've ever seen my white flag. Or high PTSD day, and so that's when I'm being vulnerable to tell people, you can check on me right now because I need to be checked on.
Wow. So,
you know?
okay, can you explain that a little bit more then?
Because before I would just isolate, no one would hear from me for weeks at a time, or however long that episode was.
Right.
And so I realized that that was hurting my people,
Yeah.
you know? And since I have connection through social media, through Facebook, to so many of my battle brothers and stuff, like those messages make Captain Roberts check on me,
Yeah.
you know, and that is so important.
So what is the message? Sorry.
The message, sometimes I'll put like a white flag or a high PTSD, so people know, if I'm not answering, I'm in something, you know, I'm in an, I don't know what to call them, but in isolation.
Sure.
Or it can be both things. Please understand if I'm not responding, that's why. Or sometimes it's beneficial because it tells people, oh, she might need you right now.
Yeah.
So I use it for both things.
And it's a message like that gets sent out to people, or is it?
Yep,
just...
I post it right on my Facebook.
Okay. Like as a post.
Yes.
Okay.
Or I'll talk about stuff. I had an issue just last week, and I put out like a call to my nephews and stuff, and they were coming from all over Michigan, and they came and got me out of the house and just reminded me, you know, that there I have people, because the flip side of that is literally going in a dark place, either trying to live vicariously through the television or through the darkness.
Yeah.
So just faith, my faith always lies in people too, because you know God created us.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
I depend a lot. And,
Right.
and before I didn't depend on anyone, you know?
Yeah,
so
like
it feels
lone
good
wolfing
to,
it. Yeah, for sure. I understand that. Nice.
Too hard.
Oh, I think that hill might have slowed it down enough.
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay.
That looked better.
We will see what happens.
I stopped into work this morning for a vote of confidence, and I said,
oh, good shot.
thank you. And I just asked them, I said, well, I'm going to be with my battle brothers, or, you know, well, I call you my brother and call, obviously, John my commander, and I said, if it weren't them, I couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
And then I also said, I think I'm going to feel good afterwards. Here we go.
Oh, same shot. Okay. Did you want to put that last one in too? Just to give you that feel of completion. Let's go.
Woo!
We did it. Nice job. How do you feel?
Good.
Good. I am learning, and I think maybe I didn't know this, that actually people around me, like, I didn't know the sacrificial, like, I guess, love that military people have for each other.
Yes.
And like we just like we're here for each other. It's like there's a thing that a lot of people are like, I'm doing this because I want to see you like happy, succeed. And it's just like, for me, I don't think I'll just go to the pro shop right now. I don't think I realized that. I think I had such a falling out with a lot of, like, I just had a lot of bad experiences, enough to be like, okay, I got my small group of people, but I didn't realize like military people actually do like stay together, and they want to help each other out, and they want to see what's best for each other.
And sometimes that's just following people on Facebook and loving their posts, and just saying, hey, I see you,
right?
You know, or it can mean so much.
Yeah.
Such little things.
Well, I'm happy to see that you're kind of hitting your stride.
I do. I fall off all the time.
Sure.
The incident that caused me to panic, fight, flight, all the things last week was more of a civilian-related incident from my past, but well, that trigger was from then.
Sure.
But yeah, I fought, but it's less. My isolation times went from weeks and months to a few days.
Okay.
And just call on a few people to help you through it. And okay, I can come out of
Yeah.
this, you know.
That's nice. That's really good.
So healing does happen.
Yeah.
It's a slow process.
It's a slow process, but it's possible.
Yes.
So
it
anyone
is.
feeling hopeless at the moment, like, just know that, like, it won't always be like this.
No. There will be sunshiny days and there will be better days. And
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you for being here.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
I love you. This was fantastic.
Yeah.